Golf Live continues now. Trey, Wingo, and Justin Ray. And once again, we want to do this every week because we appreciate the time you take out of your schedules to spend with us, so we want to pay you back for that. It is your portion of the program where we answer the questions that you have dropped in because we appreciate you spending some of your golf time with us, and we want to make sure that we let you know that we appreciate the time that you have invested. And speaking of time, ladies and gentlemen, after a little bit of paternity leave, our guy Duncan is back as the disembodied voice to read the questions. So, Duncan, before we start the questions, how is everything with the baby? Everybody healthy? Everybody good?
Baby's good, mama's good, and dad's good. We're doing good.
And how much have you been spit up on or had all kinds of human functions all over you?
All different colors, all different shapes and sizes.
It takes a village and a rainbow. There's no question about it. So
it's just beginning, my friend.
Oh yeah, wait. As we said in the pre-show chat, wait till you get to the toddler blowouts. They are way more significant, and they can be a lot more disastrous. But that's something for you to look forward to. So Duncan, let us proceed with the first question, please. What is it?
First question: if sponsor exemptions are going away, what does that mean for Jordan Spieth?
Well, I think it means for Jordan Spieth what it means for everybody. Kid, play better and stop hitting it crooked.
Yeah. Let's play better golf. Got to dig it out of the dirt and earn it. I mean, look, even for a player as accomplished as Jordan Spieth is, ultimately, if we're leaning more into the meritocracy of these things, you can't just be a famous guy and get into tournaments. You got to be up there with your peers in terms of being evaluated with your game. So it'll get to be put up or shut up time. And look, we talked about. Maybe Chris Goddard doesn't get to play in the John Deere. It might not be an issue for Jordan Spieth. I don't want to say that I'm as big a fan of Jordan as anybody, but he might find himself working his way back to the PGA Tour at some point if he's not, if he doesn't play great out of the gates in 2028.
It has been a long time since he's been in the winner's circle. I think, 3-4 years at this point?
I think it was 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, I think 2023 was the last time he won. It was at Harbortown. And, oh, by the way, again, I've said this before, both Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods have won majors more recently than Jordan Spieth, which is just ridiculous on some level if you think about it. All right, Duncan, what's the next question?
Where is Justin Rose's game? Seems like he came out of the gate scorching hot, but has fallen off.
It's really interesting. There's a little sort of special documentary that's being dropped, I think, in the next couple of days or maybe next week about Justin, and it's basically talking about the one that he really would love to win. Obviously, it's the one that put him on the map, the '98 Open Championship as a 17-year-old at Birkdale, holdout from off the 18th green to finish, I think, solo third behind Mark O'Meara, and I can't remember who finished second. And that's the one that he went straight from there to being a pro, and obviously won the U.S. Open at Marion and has been so close so many times, including the last 2 years at Augusta. He won at Farmers Insurance earlier this year at Torrey Pines.
Ran away with it.
Ran away with that one. It's interesting because I've seen the sort of the trailer for this little mini documentary. The work he's going through, like he's basically that poem, "Do not go gently into that good night." You know what I mean? Like he is working as hard as he can to maintain his relevance, to be able to compete in his mid to late 40s now, which is weird to think about for us that grew up, and he's the 17-year-old kid that had to transition from a teenager's body to his full mature man's body, and that really stopped him from winning for a bunch of times. To think of him as now as a senior citizen, for lack of a better term, on the PGA Tour. But I think he's putting in the work where he's still going to be relevant for a next couple of years.
Yeah, I point to also, look, maybe week in, week out, he's not at the top of PGA Tour leaderboards, but his best weeks this year have been the ones he cares about the most. Third at the Masters, T10 at the PGA, played great there. Finished tied for 11th at the U.S. Open, had a really strong week. This is a guy mid to late 40s who is gearing up for the big events. He's preparing himself for the biggest championships. He's not in the Scottish Open field this week. I imagine it's so he can go get some extra reps on that Open Championship course, completely focus on that. That's a lot of money you're missing out on, a lot of potential FedEx Cup points. He got that early win, and I think it was able, look, he's still in the top 20 in the FedEx Cup. He's going to make almost certainly, he's just barely on the precipice of locking up a Tour Championship spot now. So that's not a concern. He's gearing up for these last few shots as he gets towards age 50, where he has a realistic shot at winning another major championship.
Yeah, and look at Rory, for example. 7-8 years his junior. He's not going to play in the minimum events this year, 15. As you get a little more older in your career, Nick Faldo alluded to this, by the way, on the back end of his playing career. He gets really jazzed for the majors and those old-time courses like what was then the LA Open at Riviera. It's those kind of things that really sort of get your juices flowing as an older player on the tour. And obviously you want to come out and play well early because you haven't played for a while and you want to get out there and going. So I do think it's as much as physical, it's about mentally, the way he mentally prepares for these bigger events as opposed to the week in and week out things. And I think he's doing everything in his power to make sure he's as sharp as he can be for those 4 weekends and probably 5 or 6 more over the schedule. And the rest of the stuff he's just playing to just try and not accumulate rust, for lack of a better term. It's a different mindset when you get into the success that these guys have had and you realize, hey, I only got a few more chances, maybe 7, 8 at the most years at this, going on the Phil Mickelson sort of metric of when he won that major to be at the top form when it matters the most. And I just think that's where he is at this point in his career. All right, Duncan, what else we got?
Do you have early predictions on the Open? Which players are horses for the course?
Well, that's an interesting one, Justin, right? Because Birkdale is one of those courses that's sort of hard to predict how it's going to play. And it's not one where we're talking about, St. Andrews, where you can bomb it, or even Carnoustie, where sort of where to avoid things. Birkdale is an interesting layout, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, my first inkling goes to the defending champion, the guy who's number 1 in the world, and everyone's asking what's the problem. He only has 1 win this year. Well, he's still nearly gaining almost a stroke more per round than any player on the PGA Tour this season. Statistically, he is almost exactly where he was at this time a year ago, and I point to him pushing it and getting it over the line either this week at the Scottish Open or the following week, the Open Championship. But I'm with you. It's a difficult venue to predict. For my money, probably the most difficult of the Open Championship Rota.
I agree.
For what you said, I think it's going to be a year, where maybe the draw is more impactful than usual, where the weather is going to be really important to look at. I'm not sure what the forecast looks like yet, but my early inklings are looking at some chalk. I think that after an Aaron Rai and a kind of surprising Wyndham Clark major championship win, I think we might be due for another one of the big guys to get on the board. I also think about how well Rory McIlroy has played the Scottish Open in recent years.
Right.
And I don't know, man. We talked about the U.S. Open being a big opportunity for him to get another leg of that double Grand Slam. Here's another opportunity in front of him here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing, and I don't think it means we're just picking the top players. We're picking the players that I think that are the top players for a reason. Rory's won 2 of these Masters now. He's won 2 PGAs. It's kind of surprising the only Open Championship he has is at Hoylake in 2014, and before last year's major. That was the last major he had won. No, actually, he won the PGA Championship that year.
A month later, yeah. That's okay. The order of the majors, it all gets a little jumbly.
It has changed, as we said in the previous segment. Things that we thought were set in stone are not set in stone. I obviously, I think Matt Fitzpatrick would be an interesting one because this is a course where you don't have to overwhelm it. It's kind of like Lytham in the sense that there are so many bunkers at Lytham and St. Anne's that there are things you have to avoid. And there are some things at Birkdale you have to avoid. It's not quite as quirky as Royal St. George with all the humps and hollows in the fairway, but it's close. It's close. So I think it makes it harder to define, for lack of a better term, that the question asking put it a horse for a course because of the way the course is set up.
Yeah, another name too, real quick. Jon Rahm can launch his name up the odds board if he has a good week this week, playing against PGA Tour competition. I think that doesn't change him as a golfer, but I think it would change his perception in terms of pre-championship odds for the Open.
Absolutely. All right, Duncan, what's next?
Biggest surprise golfer that didn't qualify for the Open?
I'll have to go first, Trey.
Yeah.
For me, it's Sergio Garcia.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah, I was pulling up his record earlier when you were answering another question. 26 starts at the Open Championship. Crazy to think he's not going to be there. 10 top 10 finishes, pair of runner-ups. He's just always been a part of the Open, man, really since I was in high school. And so it's kind of odd to see an Open Championship field without him in it.
Yeah, and yet Adam Scott is there again.
There he is.
Like
clockwork.
101. Like, it's absolutely insane. But yeah, I was going to say Sergio as well, because look, for all the things he did, he's the U.S. Open and the PGA, all these European guys. I mean, obviously the Masters is the Masters. This is their championship. I mean, it is. It's the oldest one. It's the one. I mean, his idol Seve won it 3 times. This is the one that I think, when it's all said and done. There was a time a few years ago when Sergio said, maybe I'm not meant to win a major. But if he never wins this one, and I don't think he will, I think that's going to haunt him maybe more than anything else in his career.
Well, he ain't winning it this year because he ain't in the field.
Yeah. So you got to be in it to win it, as they say, and it ain't happening.
Yeah, it's going to be weird to not have him out there.
All right, Duncan, what's up? Look, you know me. You know how this goes. I'm on a plane more than I'm actually at home, between work trips and golf trips. My schedule this summer looks like a mess of airports tee times. However, the thing about that is all that travel, nutrition is usually the first casualty. You're grabbing whatever at the gate, skipping meals, running on basically coffee and adrenaline. And that is why Kachava's new travel packs have become a major part of my routine. It's my go-to all-in-one nutrition shake, now in travel packs, and it's stupid simple. I throw one in my bag before I head out the door, mix it up wherever I am, and boom, just like that, I am covered. What I love is that I can keep my routine intact no matter where I land. One packet gives me, wait for it, protein, fiber, vitamins, minerals, greens, probiotics, omegas, electrolytes, and so much more, all in one shake built for life on the move. Now for me, I've been rotating through the chocolate and chocolate mint flavors, and I gotta tell you, it genuinely doesn't taste like a health product. And the benefits? Well, come on. I've noticed steadier energy through long travel days, and when I'm feeling good physically, everything else seems to fall into place. Plant-based nutrition that actually tastes good. No fillers, no nonsense, no artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners. Take your routine with you wherever you're headed. Go to Kachava.com and use the code WINGO for 15% off your first order. That's Kachava, KACHAVA.com, code WINGO.
I get tired of tricked up U.S. Open courses where shots to the green hit a shaved little hill on the green and roll 25 yards over the green, yet a severe mishit gets a free drop or placement. That allows for a fairly easy up and down. What are your thoughts?
Well,
that was more of a statement than a question.
I was about to say, here's my bid for office, is what that was.
Here's what grinds my gears.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with tricked up U.S. Open courses because, quite frankly, we see how many weeks, whether it's Pebble Beach or the C.J. Byron Nelson or the John Deere or the Travelers Championship, where they can go scorched earth when everything is set up for them. So I am okay with letting them suffer a little bit. Now, I understand the vagaries of what he's talking about. There were a couple of times at Shinnecock where Wyndham missed it so far that he got over the trouble and was in where the gallery was. So I understand what you're saying about that, but that's like playing a U.S. Open at Pinehurst number 2 to me. Like, I think that's why it frustrates the players so much, because if you miss the fairway at Pinehurst number 2, there is no rough. There's just native vegetation and sand areas, and they rolled that back after the 2005 Open there, won by Michael Campbell, and they went back to the way it was built when it was originally laid out. And the pros hate it because if you get in that stuff, and that's what Ben Crenshaw told me to call it the stuff. You can either have a really great lie, like Bryson did a lot of times in 2024, or you can be completely screwed by vegetation. I think that is more egregious to me than the tricked up courses and then hitting it so far wide that you go to the trampled crowd. That's just, sometimes golf hands you a lot of bad breaks. Sometimes you get a good break in that situation. I think the pros to a man would be more upset about, if I'm in the stuff, I want to know that everybody's in the same stuff as me. And that's really not what happens at number 2.
This is a case for me of you can't please everybody all the time. I mean,
Correct.
The number one complaint when anyone makes a birdie at the U.S. Open on social media is, oh, this is too easy. This is like every other event. Like, where's my U.S. Open? # not my U.S. Open. Well,
Right.
There's some of that involved in that level of difficulty and I'm going to call it trickery, but like the vagary and circumstance of different shots and the way you get bad breaks sometimes. It's the rub of the green, right?
Yep.
You're not always going to please everyone all the time. I understand this person's frustration, but I'm not opposed to it either. I think it's part of what makes the U.S. Open unique and awesome.
Well, you mentioned rub of the green. Let's go back to the CJ Cup Byron Nelson. Scotty Scheffler hit an absolute laser. Went on the third hole, fourth hole. It hit the pin and rolled 30 yards off. Like any other time, that's 1 inch away. He hit the pin. He hit it too good, and it went too far. And that really sort of catapulted his momentum going the other way for the rest of that round. Shit happens, for lack of a better term. Speaking of that,
you hit the foul pole in baseball, it's a home run.
It's a home run.
Not here, not this sport.
Explain that to me. Yeah, it's the foul pole. You hit it. Circle them. Doesn't make any sense. All right, Duncan, what else we got? We got a couple more?
2 more. Gents, you get 1 course to play the rest of your life. Which course are you playing?
Oh, God. It depends on what mood I'm in, right? I mean, if I'm being honest, I always love links golf. That's my favorite. I've thought about this a lot. Obviously, Spyglass is just phenomenal. Cypress, I've been fortunate enough to play there, phenomenal. Pine Valley, phenomenal. But for me to play it every day or for the rest of your life, it's got to be more than just grinding you down into powder and then making you into a pill that you are put in your body somewhere. And for me, that one of them has to be the Cliffs, Cabot, Cape Breton. It is maybe the most fun you can have on a golf course. It's 6, 6, and 6, 6 par 3, 6 par 4, 6 par 5s, which is phenomenal. It's overlooking that body of water. I called it the Gulf of St. Lawrence once, and people in Canada got very upset with me, even though that's what the caddies told me it was. So I apologize. They called it something else that's off the Gulf of St. Lawrence. I can't remember what the name was. I'm just telling you what the caddy told me. That would be up there. There's a golf course on Lanai that used to be called the Challenge at Manelli Bay. It was a Jack Nicklaus design course. It's now just called Lanai Golf. Also phenomenal because it's just fun. If I'm going to play a golf course one time for the rest of my life, it has to be something that is really enjoyable, not just, oh, you're killing me. Like, no one's going to say Bethpage Black. Yes, I want to play that every day for the rest of my life. It's a great course. Happy to have played it. Not sure how many times I look forward to playing it again.
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm not going to answer with something I haven't played yet. I've never got to play Augusta National. I hope to do so someday. Yeah. So I'll stick to the ones that I've actually played. My first instinct was Carnoustie. I don't know, there's a balance there of shot making, of difficulty, but if you get in the wrong wind, it's super difficult.
Yeah.
Pebble Beach is tough to say no to because to me, most days out there, it's like it's heaven on earth. I'm like you. It depends on the mood. And then while you were talking, I was like, where Trey's played 1,000,000 times that I've had 7 or 8 fantastic days is the Plantation course on Maui.
Absolutely.
Where it's not
my home course.
It's never going to host a major championship, but it's a blast. It's so much fun. There's so many different shots. Like, I think that might be my answer, but it's tough to pin down just one for the rest of my life. So I'm going to give you the stock Pebble Beach just because it's got a balance of beauty and shot making and fun, and I don't know, it'd just be cool to go out there every day.
I would also like to throw out 2 courses at Pinehurst that Pinehurst number 2. Pinehurst number 4 is fantastic. It really is. It's more playable too. And I've only played it once. We played it last year on our college buddies trip, and I think it's going to be maybe besides number 2 the best course out there. Number 10, Pinehurst number 10. It's still growing in. Wow, that was special. That was special. So I know you said 1, and we each gave you 30. I apologize.
Yeah, it was a great
really
question.
Favorite movie of all time? What category? What mood am I in? You know what I mean? It's very different. The favorite TV show? Well, we doing comedy? We doing drama? What are we doing? And we know we're doing one last question. Duncan, what is it?
A follow-up from last week. Justin Ray hasn't played golf this year. It's July, brother. How can you not have played at least 1 round?
Because he has 74 jobs.
Listen. It's shameful. It's a shameful admission. I was trying to get around it when we saw the question last week, and then Trey just backed the bus up full speed onto me.
Beep,
but
beep. Beep.
Look, I'm in the throes of business building and young family, so it's very difficult right now. It's also about 147 degrees in the Dallas-Fort Worth area currently. But no excuses. I take it. That's an L for me. I do have multiple rounds planned during my trip to the UK between the majors I'm covering and other stuff I'm working on. So I'm excited for that. But I deserve all the smoke and criticism for not yet getting out there this year. It's been a lot of work, and as Trey mentioned, I'd probably overextend myself, but I love what I do, but I need to make some more time to get out on the golf course. That's for
All right,
sure.
so now I got to know, what courses have you set up on?
I'm going to play Formby. My good friend Nick Dougherty has set that up, my buddy from Sky Sports. So I'm going to play there. And I've got two others that I've got booked. The names escape me, but they're kind of close to where I'm at over there because both are in the Royal Lytham, and then where's the other one? They're within like a 40, 50-mile radius of each other, but Formby's the fancy pants one that I'm getting on, and then we're going to take it from there, maybe take it a little more casual after that.
Well, there's it's the course. There's Royal Lytham and St. Anne's is the one they play the Open on. St. Anne's golf course right there is right near Blackpool, is a fantastic golf. When I was there last for the 2012 Open Championship that Ernie Els won his second and final Open. Chased down Adam Scott. He was 4 down. Adam was 4 up with 4 to play and somehow didn't even make it to a playoff. I mean,
unbelievable.
Remarkable. Yeah. But St. Anne's is a really fun little golf course there. And also, there's a course not too far from there. I can't believe the name is escaping me, but it's where they invented the Stableford scoring system. Gosh, I can't remember the name of that club right now, but it's also.
I'll tell you full disclosure what the plan was, and me and Nick talked about this. Like, I'll play my round at Formby, and he trusts my socializing, schmoozing, and smooth talking ability that I will then get invited to different courses over the coming days. A process of which I am familiar with during my time on Earth. I've been able to do that. Been able to kind of talk and charm my way into a door or two. So. Formby's the one on the books, but I'm going to try to play like at least 4 or 5 times.
Awesome. And by the way, not starting a business nor having a young family has freed me up a lot. And along those lines, I should point out, you are headed overseas pretty soon for a couple of things. I am headed for a life bucket experience here. I'm playing this weekend at the American Century Celebrity Pro-Am at Tahoe. Really excited.
Did you take Travis Kelce's spot? Was he a late WD?
Might have been
married.
I mean, you get married at Madison Square Garden, you can't really say we're going to Tahoe for a celebrity pro-am for the honeymoon. So I don't know
That's a
whose
tough ask
spot
of any wife, let alone a billionaire.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll shake it off. I don't know whose spot I'm taking, but I'm not giving it back. I'll put it that way. I've been fortunate to play Edgewood before. It's a really fun golf course. We got 2 pro-am days before the tournament, and I hope I'm not speaking out of school here, but when they sign you up and they say, just so you know, we're not going to show bad shots because we don't want to embarrass any of the golfers. I wrote back, that's fine. Go ahead. So if I get to 17 and I park it off a boat and somehow it bounces back onto the green, show that sucker. Go for it. I have no issues with that whatsoever.
We go to sports television legend Trey Wingo here at 6, and you cold top it.
Yes, who was just brained a spectator behind the 16th green with a 7-iron. That'll be the way. My friends at my home club said, "We'll have a watch party." I said, "Well, it's going to be a quick one. I can promise you that." Because I won't be part of the main coverage.
Trey has stopped giving out $100 bills for hitting fans. It's sharp down to 20.
It's pretty soon it's going to be down to Canadian 20s. So we'll see what happens there, but it's going to be really fun. So, Justin, enjoy your travels. I'm going to try and enjoy the weekend and not hurt someone. We have very, very small goals. I say we put the bar low so we can jump over it and achieve the next one.
There you go. Have fun, man. Brother. It's going to be awesome.
It'll be great. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the questions. Duncan, good to have you back.
Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you, Duncan. And we'll see you next time on Golf Live.